Where do you put it then?
Put it on your toe.
You put it on your penis.
Right.
And then you just let it sit there like a little hat, and you laugh at it because it's goofy looking.
And that's sex.
And there's also a diaphragm forever lodged in your stomach.
Right.
That one you can't use for the laughs of the penis hat.
Sure you could.
Okay,
welcome to welcome to the Music Period Podcast. This is where we do commentary review, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
On current and old musical
and everything
albums
in between.
And everything. Today we're going to dig into the state of the country of India.
Yes, there's a groundbreaking artist who has decided to play the sitar backwards.
I was more thinking of the COVID-19 ravaging the landscape.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh.
I've been really focused on this sitar situation that's going on.
A sitar backwards?
Yeah. So he plays it backwards.
Okay.
And the way that you're picturing it, that's not the way that he's doing it.
Okay. So you're just assuming that I'm wrong.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
And it was so groundbreaking, I couldn't even really tell. I couldn't see it. I was like the Indians, when the ships came in, I couldn't perceive what was in front of me, so it just looked like the waves were coming. That's how groundbreaking.
It's like the end of Apocalypto.
He's groundbreaking, very groundbreaking artist, breaking a whole lot of new ground.
Okay. So today, we haven't done a new album in a little while.
Yes.
And we are about to do a newer album. When did this come out? A couple weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yep.
We are doing hip-hop group, super group, maybe.
Possible troop.
Okay.
Collective.
Okay. Brockhampton.
Brockhampton.
And their new album, Roadrunner.
New Light, New Machine.
New Machine.
Yes.
I am a fan of these dudes.
All of them?
I don't know. There's 100 of them.
Yeah, name them, fan. If you're a fan, you can name them, dude.
I didn't say I was a fan. I said
That's
I
what
liked
I thought.
them.
You're like the guy that wears the shirt of the band to the concert that you're seeing, dude. Phony. Called out. How do you like that, dude?
All right. So that has been the episode this week. Like, review, share.
Soon enough, Sam will get kicked out.
Sam is fired.
Fun fact.
Okay.
So their first release, Dirt,
Yep.
was released on the label Fool's Gold,
Okay.
which is owned and created by an artist named A-Track.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
No.
He's a DJ.
All right.
He is the singer-guitar player of Chromeo's brother.
What?
So it's almost like a weird
What
7
the
degrees
fuck
of separation.
just happened there?
Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
It's kind of fun fact.
That's very strange.
Got a thing. I'm going to probably do a fun fact at the beginning of every episode. Probably going to do a fun fact at every episode.
Hot.
Thanks, bro.
All right. So Brockhampton is weird. Revolutionary in the way that they formed. There is a lot of people in this group, not just the rappers, not just the singers, not just the DJs. They consider their people who do their artwork for their albums.
There's
part of the group.
7 people who do vocal things alone, just vocal people. There's 7.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think they even include like their
promo
their
people.
suits, as part of Brockhampton.
Yeah, it's almost like they're like a grassroots movement of like the people own the business. You know what I mean?
And it's cool.
It's cool.
And the way they make it work.
It's a little liberal for me.
What?
I just think that there should be more oversight.
They're making money. They're making money.
Yeah, I just think that there should be one person that's making a lot more money than everyone else.
Okay, all right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Anyway, they all met in a Kanye West chat room, which is kind of insane, or at least the founding members did.
They're stans.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Stan is kind of a lame name. So that's like what you say to people. You're like, you're kind of lame. That's a Stan. That's
all right. Well, I can see where this is going to go. So yeah, this is a new album. They've come out with a bunch. They kind of rapid fire albums.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't come out with more during the pandemic, actually.
Well, didn't they lose a member?
They did. Their key member.
What's his name?
Kevin Abstract?
That's what I thought. Detective Sam on the case here calling in.
Did he not leave?
He's on like every track on this thing, but he's the guy that I thought announced that he was departing.
Yeah.
So maybe he changed his mind.
Maybe. It's like Kenan Thompson on SNL.
Right.
Everybody's like, hey, he's leaving. The next season, he's just there.
He's like, nah, dude, I live here.
Yeah. I pay rent.
He's like, I'm the ghost of Christmas Past, dude. I can't leave.
I bet he's played the ghost of Christmas Past in a sketch.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I thought that this was going to be a departure from their original sound because the guy was going to be gone, but I was surprised at how...
Yeah, that is kind of strange. I didn't really notice any massive departures or anything like that.
Yeah, me neither. Yep. But once again, could be anybody. It could be a guy named Phil that like was like, yeah, we're going to name the group Brockhampton, so that's why they talked about him as like the founding member, or like, and it turns out he was like wasn't ever on a song. Like, yeah, he left.
Yeah.
There's still 193 of us.
Well, there was a few years ago a guy got kicked out. There was some sexual abuse allegations or something like that.
That happens a lot.
Because when you type in Brockhampton, one of the first things is like, are they canceled? And so they kicked one of the guys out a few years ago.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them. I mean, there's 20 people.
Yeah, what are the odds? It's going to happen.
Right.
Has to happen.
Right, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Sex is rampant. Whether you like it or not.
It's rampant.
Rampant out there in this liberal world we're living in.
Well, anyway, every time a new Brockhampton album comes out, I enjoy it. I listen to it.
Get excited about it.
I do. You know, not as excited as if like
passively excited.
J. Cole comes out or like Kendrick or something like that. But
when I know that it's there, I go, when I listen to that, it's going to be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that this time was no different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I'm just going to get it out of the way now.
Okay.
I'm a hip hop head. Everybody who listens to the show knows that. It depresses me how much just dudes making verses. They're rapping. They're legit verses.
They're doing the baseline thing of what the art calls for.
Yes. They are making hip hop songs that are true to the art form of hip hop and rap.
They're telling like stories about their lives in a poem based way of speaking, and like it's over a instrumental beat.
Yeah.
And people are like, God, these guys are like really good, dude. It's like, what has happened to the state of hip hop?
Yeah.
It's like depressing.
It stands out so much just because it's actual hip hop.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And let me just say that I every time I talk about hip hop, I start to think about my old friends and what they would think about me talking about it now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to guess that at least a couple of them are in tune with more underground hip hop and saying, dude, it's still alive. It's right here.
It definitely is.
But the fact that these guys can float to the top and keep it existing in the mainstream.
Yep.
And it gets to me.
Because that's the key, is that at one point, this was in the mainstream. Like when you talked about successful, talented hip-hop artists, this is what they were doing.
Right.
Now the definition has changed.
Yes.
And it hasn't been that long. And that's the thing that's like bothers me, or like makes it understandable to where somebody can be upset about the progress of it. It's because we didn't even get a second to really watch it evolve.
Right.
All of a sudden it's just something else.
It just turned into.
You took all the jazz musician, like snotty, artistic, like caring about your craft as an art out of it.
Yes.
And you go, this is a commercial machine now.
Yes. Now we're gonna hawk Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And fucking Target commercials.
Turns out black people are cooler than everyone else, and they have good taste. And so I'm sure people are like, hey, this is an opportunity to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Let's make it consumable for everybody, which is stupid.
And the fact that this isn't is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how do you listen to this and not appreciate it as much as listening to like a Future album or something like that? Like, really? Is there really a fucking connection here?
Yeah.
They sound like two different kinds of music to me.
But there's no auto tune on his vocals when he's talking about the lean and his foam double cup. He didn't talk about the things that I normally hear in the song.
Yeah. Oh, well, anyway.
Yeah, it's weird. I get it.
It's crazy how my timeline of hip hop is gone, because now when I hear nice hip hop, good hip hop, the way it's supposed to be done, it almost depresses me more.
Yeah, because it reminds you of what's happened. Yeah, I mean, also it's a beacon of hope.
Yeah, sure.
It all depends on how you look at it. Because like same thing happens it happens to every genre of music, right? We've talked about this on the show before. Things get popular and then it gets adapted by multiple parties or adopted by multiple parties, and you start to watch it change. Normally it takes a while for that to happen, but the people who love the thing will always keep the culture alive. And the thing I like about that is that when you find it, you appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
And it's like, I worked not only to find this, but then I also found somebody that I can connect with. It seems it's like even more personal,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And also it feels like you're getting in on the cutting room floor because you found the early career version of it. And you go, hey, maybe this guy will take off, not realizing that you hope that they don't.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but these guys, they do it different.
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
For where we are.
And I think a part of that is the 500,000 band members they have.
Yeah. It's amazing to me that there are this many cooks in the kitchen.
Seriously.
But their songs
How is there
not come off as too crowded, too rushed, too anything. They're perfect.
Right. And how is there not like a Madonna in the band that's like, it's my vision.
Right.
I'm the fucking lead singer.
It's wild. Like, so I think, I'm not comparing them. I think about Wu-Tang a lot.
Yeah.
When I listen to Brockhampton. Their styles are very different. But I think about what it took to juggle all those personalities and everybody was having their own solo success and all of that. And then these guys, like when I listen to a hip hop album or a Wu-Tang album, I could be like, okay, that's You God, that's Method Man, that's Jizza, that's him. With Brockhampton, I can't do that.
That's something I definitely wanted to talk about on this.
Yeah.
It's they're chameleons, man.
Yeah.
And they just fucking weave in and out without you even noticing who's doing what.
Yep.
It's almost like ambiguous.
They have taken all this and formed it into like just one thing.
Right. And none of them look at it as like, I'm sure they don't look at it as like, oh, I'm the guy that does this in the group.
Right.
I think they're just like, hey, this part needs this thing. Mind if I do it?
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Like, it's funny that you say like, oh, it's very liberal. I know you were making a joke or whatever, but it's almost just, it's like it runs like a top. It's like a business. They all just if they have their part, they're in.
Right. Yeah, they share responsibility.
Yeah.
And they all like, it's cool that they're all talented enough, but also willing to fail enough to be able to branch out. You know what I mean? Because it's scary. Yeah. Your voice is going to be on this album. You think you sound good?
Right.
You okay with people telling you don't?
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to sing and it'd be okay if someone goes, next album, maybe don't.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, these guys are cool, man. They're young.
They call themselves a boy band.
I know, I love that.
Which is funny.
Yeah, you can tell they're not taking themselves too seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they did, was it Fallon or Conan or one of those things where they got up like a boy band?
Yeah, they did Ellen, and they were all wearing like the orange jumpsuits, and they're sitting down on the stage, and as they all have their parts, they stand up and go up and perform their part, and then they sit back down in the cool pose.
Right.
It's so cool.
Yeah. And then you watch their music videos. Dude, their music videos are cool.
Yeah.
They are. They're just kind of simple.
These guys are a vibe, man.
Yeah.
They're fucking, these guys are hashtag vibe goals.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know at least one of my hip hop group of friends listens to this. Go check them out. I don't know if they're like respected in the hip hop community. I really don't. But every time I listen to them, I go, holy shit, they are doing it right.
Yeah. And the cool thing is there's crossover, cross-contamination.
Yeah.
So, like, I have friends who are not hip-hop heads that love these guys.
Okay.
Maybe these guys are more appreciated outside of the world that they live in.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where, it could just be like an indie music movement where they go, look at these guys and their unique approach. Yeah. Their music's good. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, right.
And
this album probably isn't where I would tell you to start.
No. But
work your way here, and I think you'll appreciate it.
There's elements.
Some of their older albums are so good.
So good. How good's Gummy?
Oh my God, I love that.
Good Sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Danny, or the guy that looks like you when you were younger?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's
handsome too.
I wrote a couple notes about him. I don't like the way he looks personally. It reminds me of somebody I hate. But I wrote some notes about him that we'll get to later on. But Yeah, this is this is Hip Hop Week, nationally known. So we're just trying to recognize it and just be a part of the movement for it.
DMX dying kind of got me in a hip hop mood.
Yeah, it was a real big start to
Yeezus
the week, though.
Yeah.
Started things off with a bang.
Yikes! A bang.
Sorry.
Canceled.
All right.
Number 1 on this album was called Buzzcut,
Featuring Danny Brown.
And this song's just dope.
So let me just say, if you take anything and then you add in Danny Brown, it's great.
Okay.
I love this fucking guy.
Danny Brown.
I was so excited to see him as a guest on this thing.
Yeah.
Like, side plug for Danny Brown, if you're not familiar with his albums, go listen to him. He's got the most wild energy on all of his shit. He started off a little bit more old school hip hop on his earlier stuff. There's an album where he splits it down the middle. First half is all like OG hip hop shit. Second half is all club bangers. Okay. And he clearly defines it.
All right.
And then he starts moving into a like more experimental on his last solo record that he did, but he's got no front teeth. He's fucking wild. He's funny. He's goofy. He's fucking always talking about doing Molly and smoking weed all the time. He's just unabashedly him, and it comes off so genuine all the time. I love it.
All right.
Yeah, so I was so excited to see him on this thing.
I like his feature on this quite a bit.
Yep.
I've never really dug into his catalog, though.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
Never have.
And they reference Abbey Road on this thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, you would.
It's a good album. 10 out of 10.
Probably would have been better if Paul was still alive.
Well, I was talking about this one, but if you want to get into that, we can. Yeah, I like this first track. It's good. The music video, it's all like kind of early 90s experimental CGI shot. Yeah. Weird angles, distortion. Like, remember when your TV, the reception would fuck up and it would get like wavy lines of like the TV broadcasting color spectrum?
Is that a boob?
I think it's a boob.
Yeah.
Night vision boob. It's kind of, it reminds me of that.
Yeah.
You know, they're throwing the heavy nostalgia vibes in on the video, but also the production too.
So
this is something we talked about a couple days ago. The production on this first song, and I think for the most part throughout, except for the ones where they're trying to emphasize the singing and pop sensibility of the track.
Right.
What they do is so different from everybody else, and like what you hear in popular mainstream rap is that you hear the beat, the bass is really loud. It's pretty sparse for the most part. There's no instrumentation that's distracting you from the lyrical element from what's going on. And then the lyrics are fucking up on a pedestal in the mix above everything. On this track, everything's equal.
That's cool.
You know, and it reminds me of like, because back, the DJ was just as important as the guy that was spitting.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
And it comes out through the mix.
Yeah. And I could say this about everything, but actual verses, actual crafted verses of nice, dope rhymes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's none of that. Well, there was one song that I thought, but then it started growing on me a little bit. They're actually taking the time to sit down and write verses.
Yeah. Right.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't happen anymore.
It's just kind of sad. It makes me sad.
Good. I love it.
Yeah.
Number 2. What the hell is this called?
Chain On, featuring JPEG Mafia.
I don't know who they are.
So JPEG Mafia is kind of a 2018. He had a breakout album. It was very well received.
Just one guy?
Yeah.
That's stupid. Stupid name.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really, really bad names and stupid people in the world. This guy.
But you're one person.
Yeah, I know.
You call yourself a mafia?
Yeah. That's how good he is.
All right, go ahead.
So he had his like breakout album in 2018. It's called 2018. Just be clear. I know I said the wrong number for a second there. It was 18. Didn't mean to say 13. Mm-hmm. Veteran was the name of it. Very well received. It's an experimental hip hop album for sure.
Okay.
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
But it was very well received. But yeah, he's been featured on a lot of successful artists shit since then. And he recently came out with his new album. Once again, very well received. He went in another new direction. I kind of know him more so for the music side of what he does because it's very glitchy. There's like a electronic glitch genre of music that he's like the only person I know in the rap world that really incorporates that into his shit.
So it's a category of music that's glitchy and broken.
Yes, purposely broken. It's like being like, oh yeah, I sing, but the style that I do, it's purposely shrieky and
See, I don't understand.
not good for your ears
I don't get it.
medically
Does
to
it
hear
sound
it.
good?
I don't like it.
Okay.
But people,
All right. Well, where is he on this track?
I think he had something to do with the music.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because the verses, the two verses,
Yeah.
are very good.
Kevin Abstract started it? I think so.
Sure, I don't know.
I think so. So I wrote down one of the lines from it. Who am I? Wake up every morning like it's do or die. No surprise. Suits get jealous when you cut the ties. And that's such a great, because it's their whole approach.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't need the fucking industry.
Right.
And I love that. Wake up every
Yes.
morning like it's do or die. No surprise. Suits get jealous when you cut the ties.
Aha.
So cool.
It's a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Cream outro.
Oh, yeah.
They sample Cream in the
Yeah.
outro. I was like, hey, Method Man.
Yep. Yeah, and that's how they ended it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cash rules everything around me.
Yeah, and you were talking about fucking Wu-Tang.
I was.
Wu-Tang.
It's hard not to think of Wu-Tang when you listen to these guys just because there's so many moving parts.
Yeah. So is this the one? No, there's a track on this thing that remind me about that. The group Big Crew song. Remind me of that one because it's kind of come up on one of these. But number 3, Count on Me.
Yep.
I love this song. I fucking love this one.
So I really liked it too. It has crossover appeal.
Yep.
The whistle was cool. Mm-hmm. When the hook first comes in, it seems so out of place to me.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what the hell? Because I wish that they would have started with that and then gone into the verse.
Yeah. That's a good way to introduce it.
Right.
You know, because the rest of the song's not going to be the pop appeal.
Yeah.
We'll give this to you now to wet your palate a little bit. We'll come back to it.
Right.
Yeah.
But it did start to grow on me as a complete song. They should have. I feel like they just should have went hook, then started that guy's verse because it was very good, and then done with the song. Then don't give me a little bit of the verse and then that hook because they contrasted too much at the beginning like that.
Yeah.
For me,
I felt like this song really captured the eclectic approach that they have that originally sucked me in.
it definitely grew on me the more I listened to it.
It reminded me of like the first exposure I had to this group, and I was like, "Ooh, this is cool, dude. This is different."
Yeah.
You know, it's so many different.
Definitely hear it on the radio.
Yep.
But I can also play it in my car and not feel stupid.
Right. Yep. And I just want to also say that a lot of the lyrical content on this thing, I feel like it's meant for a younger audience than me.
Probably.
But the themes translate.
Yeah.
The general themes that they're talking about are so relatable on everything, but the terminology that they use and like the metaphors that everything is kind of like whatever the younger people, not millennial. What's the in that next millennial?
Gen Z.
Again? Gen Z.
Something like that.
Yeah.
The other thing I think that's cool about this is one of their MCs in their group is a homosexual.
Yeah.
But they don't like make a huge deal of it. They don't make a huge deal of it.
Yeah.
They just let him write his rhymes, and every now and then he'll like touch on it. But
Suck a dick, swallow all the glop, something like that.
But it's never like this massive thing. Like, look, we have a gay MC.
And here comes the gay MC.
Right, yeah.
He's going to talk about having gay sex in front of everybody.
Yeah, like it's just.
And we're all fine with it.
Yeah, right.
Which is crazy because hip hop is kind of known for
it's
like.
Wild. Yeah.
We don't tolerate that.
Right.
It makes you soft.
Yes.
Well, maybe not them. Got it.
But you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I find it.
They don't use it as like a virtue signaling kind of thing.
Yeah. It's just, okay, this guy has a story to tell. This happens to be a story. He's telling it.
Yep.
And it's great. Like there's one line that kind of pops out at you a little bit where he's not even really rapping it. He's just rapping about his life, and he's like, I'm still afraid to tell my mom who I love. And it's just part of his verse. It's just part of the story.
That brings up a really good point. And it seems like these guys are really starting to process some shit on this album. There is a lot of sad, dark, introspective
more than
themes
what
that
they
keep
usually
reporting.
do.
And it was like certain people were using the same themes a lot.
Yeah.
And it made me almost I feel like these guys are like maybe struggling with the loneliness of fame, and they're starting to think about all these things more and more.
Yeah.
Maybe the pandemic had something to do with it, but I can hear them processing it on it's cool that they're processing, they're talking about it, and they're cool. They're not like,
right.
We all came out with our own solo singer-songwriter albums.
Right.
Yeah. Track 4, Bankroll. featuring the ASAP boys, ASAP Rocky, ASAP Ferg.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the ASAP guys?
They're okay.
Yeah.
I don't love them.
Yeah.
This this choppy
Ferg.
Rap.
Ferg.
Ferg bugs me.
He always sounds like he's constantly powering through a stutter.
Yeah.
Like, you could be in the King's Speech, dude. Like, you overcome just the hardest shit. Every time you lay a track down, you can hear it and you make it, dude.
Colin Ferg.
Hey.
Yeah, so that type of rhyme style, hip-hop style, rapping style, bugs the shit out of me.
For some reason, when he does it, it sounds like painful. Yeah. It's so prominent in his verse.
When this song first came on, I was like, ugh, here it is. Here's my first skip.
Yeah.
But then he kept on going. I started to really like this song, actually.
Here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of the triplet rap that Migos brought to the world.
At all.
But for some reason, I love ASAP Ferg.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because he's got so much punch behind his syllables,
right,
or whatever, but something that he's doing, I like it. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Yeah. If it's that stutter, keep on stuttering, dude. Don't fucking overcome it. There's a cool, like, ghostly vocal track in the instrumentation that makes it all ethereal and weird sounding too, which I really liked. And also, saying that ASAP Rocky features on this thing is a joke. I feel like I'm offended. You think I'm stupid, dude? Yeah. He said 2 words in the chorus. Literally 2 words. Somebody else is doing a rhyme and he does the, like, hey, like, emphasizes that.
I don't understand.
That's a feature?
That would be like saying that This Is America is featuring all those rappers that they use the samples in.
It's ridiculous. I feel like you think I'm stupid, and it makes me kind of mad, and I want to fight you.
Yeah. You said you were super pumped about the features on this album, and it didn't really.
Yeah, I was like, there's one verse by Ferg, but like I love ASAP Rocky's flow, and I was excited to see him on that beat.
I like Rocky way more than I like Ferg.
I was excited to hear him on this beat, and the end of the song came, and I was like, huh? And then I looked it up, and he gets credited for the last word in the chorus of each line.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. I'm not stupid. You're stupid, Bankroll. Yeah. Track 5, The Light.
Yes.
Fuck.
Dude,
heavy ass intro on this thing.
Yeah.
Real heavy.
This kind of falls in line with what you're just talking about. They're a little more like serious side of
sounds
what they're
like
doing.
a voicemail where he's reaching out to somebody and they didn't pick up the phone. He's talking about like his mom being alone in the house where his dad killed himself. Ooh. It's like heavy as fuck, dude. Right. You starting the song with this?
I know, right?
Like,
definitely didn't see this type of thing coming from them, but I was surprised how much. Maybe enjoy is not the right word. I appreciated it. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting this content on this album, and to be honest with you, I'm not super good at picking up as I'm ambiently listening in my car. Yeah. And so I didn't realize it until I started reading the lyrics, and I was like, every time I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, like somebody check on these guys, make sure they're okay. Holy shit. Yeah, it's very un-Brockhampton like. But the beat in this thing, it's hot. It's fucking good, dude. Cool ass guitar licks all through it and shit. Yeah. The beat reminds me of like, oh, this is the one. This is the beat that reminds me of. Remember how there used to be this like on every fucking hip hop group album, there was the track where the beat was hot as fuck, but it never went to a chorus, and everybody in the crew had a verse. It was the crew cypher track that was on every single one. I thought that was gonna be this one because the beat reminded me of it. The feel was so like big, and everyone's like, "Let me take a fucking turn, dude." Right. And then I was like, "Fuck!" I know. It just nostalgia. Almost like a missed chance. Yeah. I thought it was coming. It made me think of like fucking old fucking Wu-Tang, and I was like, God. Yeah. One of my main notes is just big. The song just feels really big. Yeah. The guitar licks are sick too. Super sick. Good tones on the. Then they probably got an actual guitar player. Yep. Because that's just the type of stuff they do, right? Yeah. Track number 6 was Windows, featuring So Gone So Flexy. Never heard. Don't know what that means. 1 person, 2 people, 4 people, 6 people. Should there be a comma in there? Possibly. English teachers of America might suggest it. I kind of think that it should just be a different name altogether. Yeah, right. It's dumb. Right. I'm wondering if it was the dude who comes in towards the end that sounds like Justin Timberlake. Could be. Yeah. So this is the only song on the album with all 7 vocalists on it. Okay. Yeah. It's fun fact too. Fun little fact. It's a little brooding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like wind instruments that almost
Yeah.
sound like witchy or something, you know, like a cauldron, bitches brew, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I outlined Matt Champion is that guy's
That's
name.
him. That's me.
Yep. He goes, "Who? I'm the boogeyman. You never sleep again."
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Good.
Dude, he's the one that out of everybody, he's the most chameleon.
Yeah.
I never know it's him.
Right.
And I look at it and I'm like, oh shit, that was him. I would have never guessed it.
Right.
Not only did I didn't know it, I wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah.
His voice, he like changes his voice to fit the song.
It's very strange.
He's talented.
How he's able to do that.
He like sneaks into the party and fucking steals the joint out of your hands when you're not looking at it, and then you're like, where did the joint go?
Sneaks in, slips something in your drink.
He's making out with your girlfriend as soon as you turn around. He's like, we've been together for 7 months now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool,
super
man.
talented dude.
Yeah. Track 7.
I'll Take You On.
Featuring Charlie Wilson.
Effortlessly fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't...
As just a listen.
Yeah. I wrote, doesn't take long for the beat to do a complete 180 and become up-tempo.
Yeah.
For like one of the only songs on this thing where I go, maybe these guys are having fun right now.
Yeah, right.
Rather than talking about like suicide and depression and being alone and... Yeah.
So they're still there.
Charlie Wilson's getting featured on a lot of shit lately. I really like that.
Yeah.
He's an old man soul singer.
Yeah, I was going to say,
using
where's
him
he coming from?
all over the place, dude. It's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super good. He has a solo shit too.
Maybe he needs some money.
Or people are like, you know what, dude? You got a vibe.
Yeah.
And we want to steal it from you.
Yeah. Maybe got a new agent.
He's like, I don't make decisions for myself anymore.
How old is he?
I don't know. He looks old.
80, 100?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty well known that black people age better than white people do.
Okay.
And considering how old he looks, I would say he's probably the oldest recorded man in history.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Track 8, Old News, featuring Baird. I said, this beat, boner. That bass, more boner.
Are we losing it?
That's what I wrote.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this song.
Yeah.
I really. It's funny because I think this would happen with any Brockhampton album I did. I can't just like pick apart every song.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
They all kind of meld together in just a nice album that sounds really good as a hip hop, you know?
Here's the thing I don't like about it.
Okay.
Doing this is that as I try to pick apart each song, it makes me enjoy the album less.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to look for things that aren't there, and I'm
Yes.
fucking...
Yeah, you know what? I felt the same way with this album.
I loved it on my first 3 listens, and by the time I was done listening to it after I wrote my notes, I was like, do I actually like this?
Yeah.
You know?
See, that's rough, man. I kind of had the same feeling that when we did Dawes a few weeks back. It's like, I like this. I don't have a lot to say about it.
Right.
It's just good.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't want to dig into it.
Right.
I'll read the lyrics. I'll do whatever, but I just want to hear it.
Yeah. This track is where I really started to realize that they were experiencing some sadness and shit.
Yeah.
It was pretty evident in the lyrical content. He blatantly talks about his father's suicide quite a bit in that one. Yeah. So, shout out. My condolences. What's the Occasion? Track 9. Love the guitar chords and the tone on this one. Cool, different approach to the instrumentation. The melody, the vocal melody is awesome. Yeah. The lo-fi vocal tone where it sounds like the microphone that he's using is kind of shitty. And like the wires maybe not. You can hear it crackling and shit.
Okay.
I love all that lo-fi feel. It sounds like, and it's Matt Champion again.
Yeah.
He's singing on this one. It sounds like he's been listening to some indie rock shit, like My Bloody Valentine, or something like that, or the whole group has, or somebody has, and they're like, let's add some other elements, dude, like, because it's rare for like a hip hop album, which I'm assuming this has a lot of production behind it as far as money and resources and shit, to go the route of purposely lo-fi, unless it's something that they personally like.
Right.
So I think that's kind of cool.
Well, that's just a clear sign of them controlling everything.
Yeah.
They don't have to answer to anybody.
And they take inspiration from everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's cool to me that a hip hop head like me can, at the beginning of the show, go, these guys are doing hip hop right, and not even feel like I need to backtrack on that statement with a song that's influenced by My Bloody Valentine or anything like that, because you know what? It's still fucking hip hop.
Right. As long as you have the correct like energy and approach, and it doesn't necessarily matter the stylistic outcome as long as you're genuine about it and you're passionate about it.
Exactly.
Like the actual true art form.
Yes.
Somebody like who is like say Future, just for because we were referencing him earlier. Yeah. You're passionate about making money.
Yes.
That shines.
Yes.
That's what I don't like.
Right.
Track 10, When I Ball.
When I Ball. It's kind of a simple song.
Yeah, it's got a really cool Jackson 5-esque string run in the verse, which I like.
I'm impressed when there's this many people, this many cooks in the kitchen, and the song is just evenly spaced. They're not trying to fill every fucking hole with sounds.
They're not making it 9 minutes long so everyone can have a part.
It's nice and evenly spaced. It's just a nice song.
I took note that song. I was like, man, Matt Champion on this one again. He's used a lot.
I think that maybe Abstract didn't leave or whatever the hell's going on, but I think Matt Champion was the guy who was going to like kind of take over as the leader.
Yeah, probably.
So it kind of seems like he did anyway.
Yeah. He's like, you lost your clout, dog.
Wow.
He's like, listen.
I'm going to have to look up to see what happened.
He's like, listen, you were in the army. You went to war. You left your wife at home. I moved into your house, and now she's mine.
Jeez.
Talking about the group. It's a metaphor.
It's a weird metaphor.
Track 11, Don't Shoot Up the Party. I would have been surprised if they didn't address everything that was going on this album somewhere.
Right.
So it's a great song.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have a controversial opinion here. Okay.
All right.
Walk with me. Yeah. Hear me out. Mm-hmm. I feel like this song is stuck between dark and unapologetic.
Right. And
then also trying to be a banger.
Yeah. I think that's because it's meant to be both.
Okay. It's a weird thing to party about.
It's almost like a metaphor.
Okay. Yeah.
You know? And it's kind of a cool way to don't shoot up the party, you know?
Yeah.
With
a party song.
You know, it's kind of like gun control. We need gun control and all this stuff, and you're ruining our party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of like, you know, white mass shooters mixed with the gun problem in like inner city black America, all that. It kind of ties everything together.
Right. I guess it was just...
It's like disguised as a banger, I should say.
Right. I guess, yeah, because I never really would have picked it up unless I dove into the lyrics, but it just felt conflicted as I was reading along with it and hearing the music. I was like, I don't know, and maybe it's supposed to make you think, you know? Yeah. I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to enjoy this properly.
Right. Yeah. I think it's a song about the state of all of that, guns, disguised as a banger, not meant to be a banger.
Yeah. So.
And the last two songs on this are just so, to me, clearly influenced by the direction that Kanye West has gone with his music.
Yeah, so track 12, Dear Lord, it's a gospel choir, and it sounds like Bon Iver composed the vocal harmonies for it that were on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's like
has the gospel aspect of Jesus is King.
Yeah. Lord has come.
Lord has come.
Yeah, our Lord has come.
Yeah, it's like the last two songs are like, well, we all met because of Kanye. Now let's do two songs in the way that Kanye is doing it now.
They're pretty much tipping their hat to him.
Pretty much.
Being like, we're still your followers, dude.
Yes.
Yeah. I just like, I loved the heavy influence of the Bon Iver on track 12. That one was a nice surprise.
Yeah, I don't mean to dismiss the music. I thought it was actually pretty good, but it was like immediately I was like, oh.
Yeah, for sure.
They're still Kanye stans.
Yeah. And then track 13, The Light Part 2. So Joba and Kevin Abstract are the people who are repeating these dark themes, and this is once again more talk about suicide, depression, and loneliness.
Yeah, what the hell happened? Have you looked up to see like exactly what happened?
I know that Joba's father killed himself.
Okay.
And I'm assuming and this is just based off of like, you know, shit you see on VH1 Behind the Music or whatever, but they're young, they're experiencing wild success at a pretty rampant rate.
Right.
I'm sure they're finding out some of their friends aren't really their friends.
Yeah.
They're probably obviously isolating because of COVID. They have all this success, but they're also realizing that not all the good parts come with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a whole package.
You still got the success, but all the bullshit is still there.
Right. And it almost makes you think about it even more because it's like, why isn't everything good?
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's a great slow-paced instrumental that lets you hear their words, but not introducing too many elements to the beat too quickly. It's a cool production technique.
I think overall, this album was really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why, because I've never really been disappointed by one of their albums. Even Ginger that came out last year, year before, whatever. I was like, holy shit, I love this.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know why, going into this album, I just assumed I wasn't going to like it, which is crazy because I've never disliked anything they've done.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the same page. I mean, I like all of their albums. There are some singles or some tracks I like better than others.
Of course.
I think all of it is, I'd give a standing ovation to the amount of work that goes into it and the technique and the talent. It's also great, but like none of their albums, everything is missing something. I can't finger point what it is, but none of their albums have made me go, holy shit, they nailed it.
You're right. Because even now, even after a couple years of listening to every single one of their albums,
I skip tracks.
I still have to which one is that on? Which one, that song I like? Which album is that on?
Mm-hmm.
I can't separate them.
Yeah.
It's all just Brockhampton.
It's a body of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is, and I could be alone in this, but like I feel like they're always getting a B-.
Yeah.
And they all have the capability of getting an A, album of the year. Like there's elements on all of them where I go, if you just let that be the theme for it, I would have loved it.
Right.
Not that I didn't like anything else, but for some reason I'm not walking away going, mind blown, top 5.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Every single song they make, if you just heard it outside, you'd be like, holy shit, that's kind of dope.
Yep. Who is that?
But listening to them all together, it does kind of blur a little bit.
I wonder if the so many cooks and letting everybody have a creative input
my next point.
Doesn't let you find direction.
That's where the disservice of having too many cooks comes from.
Yeah.
This something missing.
That's
I agree.
That's where having, like, you know, for lack of a better term, a suit, the irony here, somebody who's a producer who goes, hey, I'm going to help you pinpoint your vision so that you can work towards a specific goal.
Right.
Rather than just putting out collections of songs.
Right. All that said, though, this works for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking, I ain't touting no bullshit.
But what you're saying, if they could do that, would, I think, put them in this like upper echelon type thing where maybe they would be looked at in the same class as like when Kendrick drops a new album, dude.
Yep.
The world stops. Mm-hmm. The world fucking stops.
Yeah.
Could they get to that point if they had a little bit more direction?
It
Because
seems
I
like
really
it.
think that musically and lyrically, they are talented enough to do so.
The elements are all there,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even if it meant like putting together a double disc album to give everything its spot.
Right.
But let something be the focus.
Yeah.
You know? Or maybe that's not it. That's just where my head is right now.
Yeah.
But overall,
it's strong.
It's strong.
Definitely worth a listen. It's an easy, most of their albums are very easy listens.
Yeah.
This one does get a little deeper, but still, like you said, just listening in your car,
yeah.
you don't even really pick up on it
No.
that much. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Right.
Check out the back catalog.
Yeah, for real.
Honestly,
start at the
go
start
to
at the beginning.
Spotify, look at their This Is Brockhampton playlist. It's gonna put them in order of most streamed.
Right.
Start there.
Yeah.
And then
Actually,
dive
you know
in.
what I would do? I would go to YouTube.
Yeah, watch the music videos.
Watch the music. Type in Gummy.
Yeah,
Watch
dude.
Gummy first. Super cool.
So good.
Yeah.
Young Dave.
Yeah, I'm in there.
You're gonna get a TV show. It's gonna be called Young Dave.
Young Dave.
Yeah.
Isn't there already a show called Dave?
And a Young Sheldon. It's like the two of them had a baby.
Spinoff.
Except it's completely different. They adopted a baby.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall strong.
All right. Thanks for
peeps.
listening, everybody.
Yeah, we'll be back with something else at some point.
Yep.
All right.
See ya.
Later.